Okay.
Uh, Hey, Rommell, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Elmer. And yourself?
I'm good, good,
Good.
good. Can't believe we're already in the second month of 2022. We're
Goes
gonna
by
blink and
fast.
it's gonna be, we're
It
gonna blink and it's gonna be December
goes by
again.
fast.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I'm glad we get a chance to do some follow-up today.
Sure.
Um, how are things going since the last time we talked?
That's it's been steady. Just has a lot of opportunities within the organization. So
Mm,
really just trying to position myself, take on some new responsibilities and and really try to take advantage of maybe some new opportunities that may present themselves here.
great, great. So it's really in line with your leadership development plan that we had worked on. So that's great. How's your plan going?
It's going well. So I think last time we spoke, well, no, I probably haven't spoken to you since I onboarded a new job developer.
Okay.
So he started on January 1.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good to have, an additional staff person
Mm-hmm.
and really just trying to, for myself, learning to delegate more responsibilities and more work just to free myself up for different opportunities. So
Okay, good.
that's really the focus is trying to delegate work, trying to bring him along and include him on some of the things that I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can kind of hand some things off that he can handle, so I can focus on some other things
Okay,
more
good
managerial.
deal. Good. So I know we talked about some performance measures. Are you meeting those, to your satisfaction?
I wouldn't say meeting. I mean, they're it's a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to say that I met them. It's just something. There's These are goals that I'm just constantly working toward.
Mm-hmm.
So again, one of which is really freeing myself up within the program so that I can be more involved in the organization, and and
Oh, great.
and that's
Okay.
where I'm trying to go.
Yeah. So, what do you think that's working and what's not working for you?
Um, so what is working is slow, but I am delegating more responsibilities and trying to hold
Hmm.
other staff accountable for the things that they should do. Um,
Okay.
at the same time, it's also an assessment of who I have, and
Hmm.
as the organization go through their strategic plan and begin to move forward, we're looking to identify strengths and weaknesses. So that's one
Hmm.
of the key points is I'm trying to assess where people's strengths are,
Okay.
and then where also some weaknesses are, and if there's a change that needs to happen, uh, to really discuss those opportunities. If there's no way to kind of do some type of corrective plan to improve,
Hmm.
looking to maybe change some staff around as well.
Okay.
Mhm.
At this point in the progress, is there anything that you would like to improve, or do you think it's too early in the process?
I think it's a bit too early, with just a lot of different things uh, that is starting now. Um,
Hmm.
some of the time is taken away from some of that. Sometimes it's a lot of time is just getting down to doing the work.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I think once kind of because everything's kind of starting at the same time. So a lot of time and attention is getting the programs up and running. So I think
Okay.
once that kind of levels off, I'll be able to kind of really make a better assessment as far as what's working, what's not working, and any
Hmm.
changes that need to happen.
Okay. How do you see your team now that you've been able to onboard a couple of people? How do you see them moving forward in the process?
Um, that's going to be real critical for me. Um, I need to have more time with them
Hmm.
because two of the three staff are really new. One, like I said, Mitch, he's only a month in. One
Hmm.
young lady, she's only been here. This is her fourth month. Uh,
Hmm.
so it's going to take some time. Uh, I do like the fact that they're new. They have some new fresh ideas,
Hmm.
and they're coachable as well. And they want to be here. They want to be part of the movement. So I
Okay.
think it's just setting that time to train them, to coach them, to provide them with the information,
Hmm.
and for me, not to assume that they know. That's one of my things
Right.
that I am working on, is not taking for granted that people know what I know.
Okay.
And I know that I have a bad habit of doing that. I assume that it's understood that you know.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
one thing I'm learning is that sometimes you have to explain things in different ways. It can be verbally, it can be in written form.
Hmm.
I've always tried to do things by example, but that doesn't work for everyone. So just different ways of communicating.
Yeah, that's exciting to hear. Uh, do you think that there it are there roadblocks in your new hires as it relates to the organization overall and their expectations from the organization, not just the program?
Sorry, can you repeat that for me? I'm sorry.
Uh, so when you get new people in
Hmm.
that don't know the ins and out of a particular organization,
Sure.
do you feel like you've got the right people on board to be able to incorporate them into the processes of the organization?
I would say right now with high confidence, yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
but in this line of work, it does take some time, because
Mhm.
there are so many things. I mean, we work so far beyond our job description. So can they perform the
Okay.
functions of their job description? Absolutely. But our
Hmm.
job goes so far beyond that. I mean, in my experience, you can't judge an employee here based on a job description. So
Okay.
from
All
that
right.
standpoint,
Yeah.
I think that we do. As I
Mhm.
mentioned, I mean, they want to be part of the movement. They're learning to understand the movement, and I try to give them as much background as possible. I try to
Mhm.
involve them so that they can really see that their work goes beyond what we do here at 5260 Griggs. It's
Okay.
bigger than Houston. I mean, this is
Yeah.
a movement. And so
Yeah.
the more that they can understand that we're just part of, again, another 90 affiliates doing very similar work, making this type of change, then they get a better perspective of really what they're doing.
Good deal. Good deal. So, how well is your communicating process going with your manager, and what kind of results are you seeing from that?
Oh, it's going well. We have always had a good open line of communication. Uh,
Hmm.
again, this month has been very, very busy for both.
Hmm.
Um, and haven't talked as much as we have in previous months. But I understand it's busy, it's work. But I know if I need to pick up a call, he will avail itself to me if needed. Um,
Hmm.
but it's just right now, if there's anything new, he knows how to delegate it to me. It
Hmm.
doesn't necessarily need a whole lot of explaining, a whole lot of direction. It's
Yeah.
here you go,
So
and I can kind of run with it because we have always done it. So we have worked together for so many years. Uh,
good. Uh, how are you embracing that extra responsibility?
I'm embracing it as an opportunity to do different things, to grow,
Hmm.
but also to really step into a different role, so
Okay.
that I can really exercise different skills that I have. Not necessarily just being the one that's always on the front line dealing directly with the client, but there's a lot of other responsibilities that need to happen on the back end.
Hmm.
So yeah, I really love it because it's something new and different.
Oh, okay. how is the strategic plan process moving along?
It's moving along. We have a check-in in another couple of weeks or so. So
Mhm,
actually, I need to review that to see kind of where we are as far as our outcomes and benchmarks.
mhm,
Uh, I had a meeting with the team late in late December before we went on break to kind of really kind of pinpoint and look at different strategies and ways to make sure that we hit our benchmarks.
mhm,
And then now is the time to really look and make any adjustments to that. So if we need to do that, that's
mhm.
something that we can put in place now. But I like the fact that it's something that was implemented and it hasn't
Mhm.
gone away. So I really like the
Okay,
fact that management is sticking to it. They're coming back
good.
to it. They're talking about it. So that's a good thing.
Okay, that's great. Uh, I know initially there were, some obstacles as it related to personnel, but are there uh, currently, or do you have any obstacles that may be, slowing you down or, off railing your progress?
No, no, not from a personnel standpoint.
Mhm,
So everything that we're looking to implement, we're able to do that. And so as far as personnel wise, we actually can use additional staff at this point, but we're able to manage what we have now
mhm.
and able to delegate different roles as
Okay.
as program ends. People are able to take on other responsibilities. So that's kind of what. So
Okay.
that's kind of the transition that we're in now.
Okay.
It's moving from one program to another program.
I think another issue is resources. How's that coming along?
Um, for right now, being that everything is mostly virtual,
Mm,
we're able to have the resources that we need. A lot of things
okay.
um, that we probably typically would need as far as like transportation assistance and clothing assistance is not in high demand right now. Um,
Mm,
we did get a program or a grant that actually requires us to utilize a high dollar figure for incentives and client support. So that's going to
mhm.
help tremendously, to really help incentivize participation in the program.
Okay. 6 months down the line, how do you see the organization enhancing virtual or going more to hybrid or starting to bring clients back in face to face?
Well, we would have to enhance the virtual platforms. That
Mhm,
really depends on kind of really where we are as a city with the COVID numbers. Um,
mhm,
I don't think as long as we're in this, especially in the red, in the highest level,
mhm,
it would definitely not be any in-person activations or many. So we have one training class that I do at one of the community centers that's in person, and that's kind of a
mhm.
controlled environment with only 10 people. Uh, but if the numbers begin to decrease, I can see the need to want to go back to things as they previously were and have a lot more in-person activations.
Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, how do you think it would affect
You muted.
sorry about that. I was just how do you think that it's affecting your new hires who came in under virtual,
Mhm.
as they have to transition, into um,
In
face to
person.
face?
I think it would be a benefit. Actually, working in person is easier than the virtual
Mhm,
mode that we're in now. So they have work experience. So they have worked with people pre-COVID. So they're accustomed to the in-person
okay.
setting.
Mhm,
In
mhm,
this work that we're doing, that works better for us. It's less time consuming.
mhm,
So I mean, actually, working virtual for us is more challenging than in person. It's more time consuming. I would
Mhm.
love to go back in person. It would definitely help the numbers. It would
Mhm.
really make our jobs a bit easier.
Okay. Uh, how is the organization coping with that across the uh, across the board?
I think they're managing as well as expected. So they have their work schedule protocol for staff to kind of work in that hybrid model. So as far
Mhm.
as but some come in more often than others, but people are, they have their work schedule. So I think as a organization, it's been this way for several months, and I think it's just consistent, uh,
Mhm.
but also evaluating as needed, based on the numbers. I thought we would be back in 2022, but of course that Omicron numbers
Yeah.
spiked,
Yeah.
and it really had a change of mind for how we would operate.
Yeah. How do you see moving forward across, not just with your affiliate, but if it's not Omicron, if it's not Delta, it could be something else. How do you
Mhm.
see the organization or the movement as a whole, you know pivoting to say, hey, this is the way we're going to do business?
At some point, a decision is going to have to be made. I think that they will follow the guidelines of the federal government. I don't see us or any affiliate just stepping out and saying we're going to do it the way that we want to do it.
Hmm.
Because as a client serving agency, we have to put our client needs first. We have to, we're a client service agency. Um,
Hmm.
uh, but at some point, I think depending on the vaccination rates and things of that nature, will really dictate how we will proceed moving forward. And I think that'll be with all affiliates.
Okay. How do you see, so you've been in social service a long time, so how do you see social services being, you know, changing or moving beyond where you are today in the long run?
Well, I don't. I definitely see the need being greater. I think
Hmm.
just as a nation, uh, we are moving in we are in the direction of the have and have nots. So the have nots will always need service.
Hmm.
There's no, and I see it change. I think it is shifting more from organizations that may be not gender focused, uh, uh, race focused,
Hmm.
and be more inclusive. So
Okay.
there's some organizations that may have a primary African American population, Hispanic population, Asian population, etc. I
Mhm.
think that original structure of of why the organizations are in existence, I think the shift is becoming to be a lot more inclusive. So you can see other ethnicities working in those organizations serving everyone. And I think that
Mhm.
that's a good thing. I think that will definitely help break down a lot of the social barriers, but really help our communities as a whole when our door doesn't train everyone here, everyone is welcome here.
Mm.
That wasn't always the case. Some organizations were known only to serve.
Yeah, right. Let me say, I know at one point we talked about some great ideas that you had, that you've been mulling over for years as far as um, your personal development. Do you see that the possibility of those things coming to fruition in the next, few years?
I would love to say, I would say yes, because I am at a stage where I am not looking to stay planted where I'm at.
Mhm.
So if there's going to be opportunities within, great. If not, there will be some other opportunities that will present itself that I would have to consider. Um, but that's just part of growth. And the more that I'm able to really expand and do different things and kind of network with other people, I'm sure other
Mhm.
opportunities will present itself.
Okay. Yeah, great ideas. And a couple more questions. What do you see the biggest difference in your personal development from when we began a few months ago?
Uh, is the mindset that I now have. It's I'm looking at myself, and I'm looking at the opportunity within the organization differently.
Mhm.
Uh, so so knowing there's an opportunity and seeing an opportunity for me are two different things. Where
Okay.
I would see it, but may not uh, maybe take the opportunity to seize an opportunity or make an opportunity
Mhm.
for myself.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at now.
Okay, that's great. How how about particularly since the strategic plan, the collaboration across departments, how has that developed?
It's a slower process than it needs to be. Um,
Mm,
I know for a fact that the management team, we need to get together more often.
mhm,
And the structure of the second century vision through the United Way is going to mandate that we uh, integrate our services. We have the model, we have the plan, we have it, but it's going to have to be a more deliberate approach to integrating services. And I think we're going to get there. We have
mhm.
been saying it for a while, but I think this year is going to be that year because it's hard
Okay.
to avoid it. I mean, it's going to be hard to work in silos and report
Mhm.
the outcomes that we need to.
Right. How do you see yourself being an impact on that progress?
I would be an integral part. I'm one of the lead team members that have participated in a lot of the trainings for integrated services through the National
Mm.
Urban League.
Oh, okay.
I have one of the workforce is one of the programs that's at the forefront, especially when
Mhm.
it relates to the United Way with the financial stability. That's one of the core programs. So
Okay.
it comes to helping people increase their income, increase their savings. That's all that falls all under this program that I manage.
Okay. Um, as a manager, what do you want to see your team achieve in the next year?
In the next year, um, I want our team to have worked together and help clients be primed to get assets, to obtain assets.
Okay.
So that encompasses getting a job, getting the job training, uh, getting the certifications,
Hmm.
participating in financial education, financial literacy, begin to increase their savings, increase their credit scores. So in 12 months, I would love for our clients to be able to sit in and participate in our first time home buyers program. So
Oh,
that's really
okay.
where my vision is. Uh,
Hmm.
so that's the goal for 2022. And it may be somewhat of an assessment period, and I may be a bit optimistic in some of those goals. But this is the time to really see what works and what does not work. As clients come in through the program that want to be homeowners.
Yeah. I guess that kind of leads into my final question, but how would you know if you've achieved it?
That's
Uh, yeah.
it will be um, where our clients started. So
Mhm.
everything is about our client journey. So one thing
Okay.
that we're doing different this year is tracking our client journey through our services here. So
Okay.
we know where they are when they walk through our door and sign up. But that midpoint is, and then kind of where they're going to end up within that 12 months. So
Yeah.
if we refer people to the first time home buyers and our clients are in that classroom or in that session, getting the education, that's a plus for us. That's a win for us. That will let us know that we're moving our clients in the right direction.
Okay, great. Finally, what kind of benchmarks do you think that funders are looking for in this new age of how you do business? What are funders going to be looking for
Yes,
going forward?
yeah, they're looking for a narrative of what that client journey is. Where do we move that client to? So it's far beyond how many people you got a job. That is so uh that's not their main focus anymore. Their main
Mm,
focus is not how many people you found a job. It's how many people have you helped become financially stable. Have you moved
mhm,
a family? Have you helped really move the needle for this person? So that's the benchmarks, and we should be able to tell a story. And that's the key part for us is documenting where our clients are and where they end up. Again, just telling that whole journey that they came in and received all of our services. That's what funders are really looking for.
okay. All right, good. You're on track, Rommel. You
I
know,
appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. The goal setting was, successful. And I'm really excited that you're staying on that course. You've met the challenges that you set for yourself. You're working through issues. Everything's not perfect, but you're continually working through this, and you have improved in the areas where your assessment said, yeah, Romel's good, but and so I'm really glad to hear that. Good deal. Stay warm.
We
I'm
try
looking
to.
for some,
Definitely you as well.
bad weather. Yeah. Stay
Yeah.
warm, and hopefully, in the next 2 or 3 months, we'll get to visit one again. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
Appreciate your time. Thank
All
you
right.
so
Thank you.
much.
All right.
Talk
Thank
to you
you.
later.
All
Bye
right. Bye
bye.
bye.